Hello, everybody. It is Friday. It is definitely time to start winding down if you're into that sort of thing, or if you're like me, maybe you're winding up. Either way, I thought I would jump on today to kind of announce a couple of cool things that are happening and something that actually happened this morning, which is I was in a conversation with someone and they said, Marissa, every time I talk to somebody in marketing, they're constantly talking to me in jargon, meaning that there is a lot of information that is, coming at them really quick. And I started laughing because, like most people, I think that when you are an expert in something, what ends up happening a lot of the time is that the content that's coming through and across, you're such an expert that you have no ability to kind of dumb it down. And most people are in that stage where they need it dumbed down. They're not a high level resource. They don't understand how it works. It doesn't integrate. They're just unable to break that down. And I think that one of the problems that comes from that is that you lose an innate ability to connect with people. So my sense is that most of you that are in kind of the business world, you're really good at what you do. Maybe you're really great at sales or product development or customer-centric marketing or whatever that thing is. If you can't take out the jargon and have a conversation at a entry-level perspective, I personally believe that you're losing out. I mean, it's definitely something that you're losing out on. And more importantly, you actually lose the ability to connect with people. And so what I'm going to ask you to think about is how can you take the knowledge that you have and make it useful for the average person? And I think that a lot of times in marketing, everyone is so acronym heavy because they want to show that they know a lot. And in the process, they alienate people. I often say that all the PPC, SEM, SEO leads to a lot of WTF, right? If people throw acronyms at you, how can you clearly understand what someone is trying to tell you? If someone said, hey, the reason you need to invest in this particular thing is it because it leads to all of these different trails of breadcrumbs that lead back to you. That's something you might want to learn about. But if someone says we really need to improve your on-page SEO and optimize your they start throwing all these hyper technical things at you, you're going to go, wait a minute, okay, I clearly don't know what I'm doing. And that is a strategy that is used by a lot of marketing people. The strategy is used to overwhelm them into submission so that they can perceive that they're the experts and that they can trap people into these marketing relationships. And oftentimes, the way that I break it down to everybody is if they can't explain it at the most simplest terms, okay, if they can't break that down into something that makes sense, into a little nugget, and then build on that foundation, then you have no business doing business with them. It's all about being able to bring someone into the fold, explain the process, explain the build. And our hope is that we can bring a lot of that high-level knowledge, but easy vernacular to you. Because, again, if I am only overwhelming you with acronyms and I'm only giving you high-level information, that puts me in the position to be a knowledge hoarder over you, and that's not what I want to be. I have no interest in being a knowledge hoarder. I have no interest in valuing that expertise and really trying to make you feel dumb. What I want to bring someone in is to bring them into the fold, let them learn and identify skills that make sense, and then have them build and grow. So I came into a shared co-working space today, and I was really worried about whether the audio was going to work or if it's going to be the right lighting or people talking or whatever those things are. And what I found is that I'm not going to waste my time trying to be perfect. But I wanted to bring this down to anybody that's considering going into the marketing space. There's a lot of misnomers about what social media can do for you and what marketing can do for you. So for example, a lot of times people have a project that they want to launch and they say, hey, I've got 2 weeks to launch this thing. And I'm like, well, then we're like 3 months behind. Social media and marketing is like building muscles. And as much as I want to get a six-pack in a week of working out, that's not going to work. So it's a consistent effort. It's a daily effort. It's a weekly effort to that process. So what I will ask you to do is to think about the last time that you really wanted to do a project and what were the elements that were missing. Well, typically it's people don't know about you, so you need to get some awareness. But after that, like, what do you want them to do? You want them to consider you. So when you invite people in to know you and your brand, you have to be confident that what is out there about you aligns with what you're talking about, right? If any of you were to Google me today, I feel comfortable with that. So as a brand, you want to make sure that at a very entry level, the same way that marketing people overwhelm you with acronym, I don't care what you do. You can be in HVAC, you could be in construction, you can be in real estate. Can you make it simple for somebody to understand? And if you can't make it simple for someone to understand, take the time to get to know somebody and break it down for them. Because if they can't understand you at the most complex, they're certainly not going to understand you at the easiest point of entry. And that's really what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is how do you create this kind of a stage where you are not knowledge hoarding, number one, and number two, where you're helping educate someone about what you do. Education is a longer play. It requires a consistent play. It's not as fun. It's not as sexy, but it is super impactful. Now, one of the reasons that I have this phone number coming across is that we've decided that on Tuesdays at 2, we're going to be answering crowdsourced questions. If you guys know me, no selling, no pitching. That is not what I do. But I really thought, okay, how can I help a community a little bit more? So what we did is we put together this group, and what we really want people to do is to communicate, engage, have fun, learn more about what we do. This group is over actually on Facebook, and the whole goal is go in there, ask a question. It's kind of like that give a penny, take a penny. If you go to a gas station, give a penny, take a penny. You know, take information, give information. We ask people to kind of come to the table with shared value and experience. I ask you to come in the spirit of collaboration because I want you to be successful. And also, you know, this is the group, it's called Micropreneurs Unite. I want you to come into this group and I want you to give people a little bit more about what you do. So if you look at the group, we structure every week for the group to receive some really great resources. So resources all geared, micro-learning experiences. How can you learn something in 5 minutes? And people tell me that's impossible. You cannot learn anything in 5 minutes. And I'm going to tell you that's not true. You absolutely can learn something in 5 minutes. So number one, how do you learn something in 5 minutes? How can you learn about a concept or a tool? And then also, obviously, I do workshops as well, but there's no pitching, there's no selling, there's none of that. And then Tuesdays, we're going to be coming on live and really finding out, hey, what do people want to learn about? What are you trying to do in your business and you're stuck with? Are you trying to build a landing page and you don't know what to do? Are you trying to understand Google Analytics? Are you trying to figure out what social media platforms work for you? Our goal in that group is to give you some value that's very specific to what you have, but also just allows you to really take that and kind of implement it yourself. And then once you do something yourself, you'll learn, right? You'll see how hard it is to do something. I mean, anytime we try to do something, we always seem to think that it's a lot easier than what it is. And I like to kind of point out all of the steps that it takes to get something done. Now, it's not because I want to be a knowledge hoarder either, but it is so that you have a clear understanding of, hey, if I want to build this thing, I'm going to need to sketch out what it looks like. And I need to think about what someone's going to benefit from as opposed to over pushing content. So there's kind of this little cha-cha that you do as you're putting this information out. Now, the number at the bottom of the screen is just for you to text in questions. We're crowdsourcing questions. We did the live stream on Instagram. We have 75 different questions. My sense so far is people seem to keep having the same questions. 1, how 2, do I need to spend money on a logo designer? 3, what's the best website for a landing page? 4, how much should I budget for my marketing? So all of these things that we're going to ask, again, we answer. We don't have any specific requirements around, we don't pitch or we don't sell, and we're going to bring on some guest experts to help you really navigate what you could be doing, what you should be doing, and also it's in a safe space. So I encourage you, if you haven't already, to consider joining our community. It's free. We really look at it as a club for mutual improvement. We don't look at it as a place for you to come in and sell crap. If you come into the group, I'm going to bounce you in like 5 seconds because that's not what I'm about. But there will be opportunity for you to do that. So really quickly, just showcasing this for you. If you are interested in joining the group, it's really simple. It basically comes down to, who are we? And we believe that we're the club for businesses with big ideas, but maybe small teams. So maybe you're a team of 5, maybe you're a team of 2, Maybe you are team everything. You are sales, marketing, customer service, delivery, web support. In the early days, that's what we were. And the goal is we can bring you into this organization and this club, let you kind of come in, and you know what? If you're an expert in something, we'd love for you to teach the tribe something, teach us something, show us how to build something. Now, next week, we have a couple of really cool classes that are free that are all around learning how to launch with the landing page, how to do targeting on Facebook advertising, and I hope that we see you there, and I would love to have you be a part of it. Again, our goal is not to be these hoarders of information, but it is to kind of say, hey, and if you have an idea or something that you would love us to teach, go ahead and just shoot me an email and tell me what you want to learn. And what I will do is if I don't know or if I'm not the expert in it, I will find an expert to come into the group and teach it for free. All you have to do is join us in our Facebook group. And then we'll be doing lives Tuesdays at 2. It'll be Tuesdays at 2 every kind of week. And then if we have stuff to share in between, we're going to do that as well. I don't want to set the bar so high that like if you don't tune in, you're not going to get it. Of course, you'll be able to access it after the fact. But I'm tired of watching people trying to grow businesses and learn how to do things and really struggling because a marketing person is just going to say like, we need to get your ROI with this and this, and just overwhelming them with content that doesn't make sense. So listen, I have taken up more than enough of your time today. My hope is that you consider coming into the group, sharing something of value. If you can teach something, if something has worked for you, we encourage you to share it. On the offset, we want it to be a safe space. So if you want to learn how to do something and you don't know how to do it, there's a phone number here you can text questions to. We've got an email address set up where you can kind of text in or email in your questions, and I'll find the experts to come in and teach it. So with that, I leave you on this beautiful Friday. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.